Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who have never been here before, allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Bob.
I'm Karri.
And this is Life Redesigned. In 2022, Karri and I sold everything that we owned and we hit the road full time in this RV right here that we call Humphrey, and we have never looked back. And today we find ourselves in the beautiful town of Lake City, South Carolina. And more importantly, and more specifically than that, nod to you, Jacob, we are here at Crossroads Coach RV Resort and having a great conversation with a lot of the campers here, and that's the subject of today's videos: things that you do and don't do when you're RV camping. Now, Karri's going to read from the Book of Knowledge, and we're going to cover all the little things that we discussed here in this great little RV resort. Starting with number one,
have a checklist for set up and tear down. Something we still need to do.
And this is something that came up quite a bit because this here is about a half hour off of 95. And it's kind of a launching point for a lot of people picking up their first rigs. So they come here and they do shakedown trips. And it's a beautiful area, and why not? Because it's urban camping. It's great. Now, the problem is without that setup and teardown list, there's chaos and confusion. In fact, one of them was letting us know about how much stuff gets left behind because people forget all about that list and they just take off.
But don't expect everything to go as planned.
And that is 100% a thing that we've learned right here in this RV park, is that there's a train that runs through the center of town. And this is, again, urban camping, as you can hear in the background. That train comes through about 10 times a day and likes to blow that horn, but nothing will go as planned. That's why we say take those plans and throw them right out the window. Now that train, as we pause for, we have learned is the sound of commerce coming through the state of South Carolina. And boy, are they doing some commercing. What's next, Karri?
Do inspect your sewer hose.
Oh, this one actually came up quite a bit, and boy, did hilarity ensue every time somebody mentioned this. Now, this was not only for brand new RVers, but just RVers in general who maybe take that trip out a few times a year and forget to check things. Those little hoses, the stinky slinky, as everybody likes to call them, well, they develop cracks over time. And if you don't expect those or your little sewer caps, things come out. And I've had a story all about how bad a foot can smell if you open that up at the wrong time or don't inspect that. So absolutely.
Yep.
But the
don't ask for advice before reading your manuals.
That was one of the biggest pet peeves of everybody that we talk to here, is that people love to ask for advice and they haven't done any of their own research. So if you have a rig, read all your manuals, because let me tell you, a lot of advice means squat to you because that other person has a totally different system. As much as we like to joke around that they're all about the same, just because all parts come from the same companies, they can drastically differ from one to the next. And that per square inch of pressure that's allowed in someone's water lines may not match yours. And poof, more hilarity ensues. Next up, Karri.
Pick up after your pets.
Pets? Oh, this is absolutely 100% a thing everywhere we go. Because people like to live, what do we call those, little nuggets of love everywhere. And as much as we think Oliver, I did it again, Fido is a family companion walking around, leaving his little trail everywhere. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that less than me under the cover of my shoes.
No.
Jeez.
Now don't.
Well, don't let your kids run free. And we're talking about those other pets that you bring with you. We know because, well, we have kids and we've traveled with them when they were younger. And one thing that we never let them do is just run wild and run free. And we see that quite a bit as we hit the road, especially as we go into the summer season, where kids are just going to run rampant through people's sites and up on the back of their rigs. We saw one kid hanging off the ladder of a fifth wheel down in Texas, and you shouldn't have been doing that because, well, they almost took off with you on there.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is your kid looking like a Garfield suctioned to the windshield, like something
Or
out of
do
the
you?
80s.
No.
Yeah, then again, some of your kids. And Ethan, we're talking to you. Speaking of pets, can I say it? Can I tell them? Can I
No.
let everybody know all
No.
about?
But we can thank today's video sponsor, My Waggle.
And just like that, we are back inside our rig because today we want to talk to you about our continued partnership with our incredible channel sponsor, and that is
My Waggle.
Now, My Waggle is a great device that allows you to monitor your pet's comfort and safety from wherever you are on the road. Inside this magic device, it tracks your humidity, it tracks your temperature, and more importantly, the comfort level of your pet. Because you can set that to whatever you and Fido or Oliver likes to have as a comfort zone. And then you can track it all on their amazing app that covers everything in real time. Now, you don't have to worry about if your power goes out because, well, this has got you covered because it has a rechargeable battery inside, and it also has Verizon service so that if your Wi-Fi goes down, you're not affected. It will still give you those alerts. This app will also notify you by email and by text so that you don't have to be glued to the phone waiting for a text. You can check your email or vice versa. Now, we are so excited with our partnership with My Waggle. We've talked to them and they're going to extend an exceptional promotional offer of 55% off if you use code LIFE55. And I'll leave a link in the video description below because when it comes to pet safety, it is something Life Redesigned and more importantly My Waggle take with 100% seriousness. So if you're looking for the best for your pet and its comfort and its security, look no further and check out My Waggle. Now back to the video.
Okay, now I forget
All
where
right,
I am.
now that Karri has released the gag and I'm allowed to speak one more time.
Doesn't he talks a lot?
What's that joke?
Like, try to get a word in edgewise.
That's not going to set off the comment section at all. Next one.
Oh, back flush your tanks often.
Is this a do or a don't?
Bob, that's a do.
Yes, absolutely. Back flush that tank whenever you get a chance. Now, this is the summer of smells, and you're going to get every influencer peddling a stinky solvent solution to cover all those black tanks, and really what it comes down to is plenty of water, both at every use and also to flush out anything that's left in those tanks by using the system that's on board, or if you don't have a back flush system, a little wand that goes down your toilet, that will take everything off the walls and get that smell out. You don't need all these solvents and you don't need all those chemicals. Why do we say that? Because we've used every one of them and none of them work.
They've even made their way over to podcasts now. All the little stinky pods.
I got your podcast, all right. And the next one.
Do not leave your valves open.
Okay, this one here, this was when we started talking about tanks, and this was funny because once everybody knew we were YouTubers in the RV segment, they said, how many black tank videos have you made? And we're like, 0. But don't worry, we got you covered in an upcoming episode. But one of the things they said, which every YouTuber would stop talking about or just put it to bed already, is about leaving tanks open and closed and all this nonsense. You keep your valves closed, plain and simple, unless you like building that pyramid of poo in your black tank, or you like letting up sewer bugs into your system. Yes, that's right. There is such a thing. There's all those nasty bugs that are crawling around in that septic system at your favorite RV park. Well, if you leave that valve open, they're coming inside one way or another. And I don't care how many have been doing it for 35 years. Close the valve. It's gross. That's right. I said it. And so did they.
Anyhow.
Yes.
Always walk your site before pulling in or backing in. Always check your site first.
I've brought this up a couple of times in a few videos, and that is 100% is get out and look around. And that is, just check your systems. Make sure that there's power at the pedestal. Make sure there's water, and make sure that there is actually a sewer connection if you require that. Because you would not believe how many people do not find what they're looking for after they've already unhooked and set up and everything. Nothing more than having your family all ready to have camping excitement, and you have to move because you didn't check the power.
Yep. Turn off your water before you leave for the day.
Now, this is especially true if you're like us and like to go off on these random adventures and take hikes that last for 5 or 6 hours because, well, someone didn't bring the All Trails app.
It's a 5-minute loop.
Nothing worse than having that water on and, something happens and it doesn't take much on some of these cheap plastic faucets to move. And quite frankly, a little train can set off the faucet in our Grand Design. And that's all you need is to have water filling out. And our friends from Dean and Gertie Explore the World know firsthand what it's like to talk to Bob and let their tanks overflow because someone left a faucet
See what I'm
open.
saying?
and it's all my fault.
I keep, the point just keeps getting made.
But close the water off, shut the water off, and while you're at it, make sure your gas is shut off too when you take off for the day. Next, not that gas.
Now, don't take off for days without letting the park staff know.
Absolutely. Now, Karri and I have done this a couple of times where we've just decided, for the hell of it, we're going to go to the beach for 4 days, and we don't want to be part of RV life. We just want to do our thing and maybe get a hotel because they have a bar at the hotel, and she likes slushy drinks.
I don't like the slushy drinks. You do.
It's me. But either way, when you're taking off and you're going to be gone for an overnight and beyond, let the front desk know, hey, we're not going to be here. Because if there's a fire or there's some kind of emergency, they're not going to waste time trying to get you out of your rig when you're not there. They can move on to Gertrude and get her out of her Grand Design.
Yeah, or you have nosy neighbors.
Oh,
that'll
yeah,
go tattle on you.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Some of y'all need to mind your own business. Next.
Some. Now, clean up your site after you're done. When you're getting ready to leave, clean everything up. Make sure you don't have any tin foil, anything on the ground. Leave it as you saw it when you came in.
Now, my mother used to say all the time, Bobby, pick up your mess. And I was always like, you know what? I'm a grown man. I don't need to pick up my mess. Now that my mother's long and gone and she sits underneath the dinette in a little black box, we remember this every time we pull in somewhere. We like to leave a site a little cleaner than when we found it. And some y'all aren't doing that. How do we know? Because you're leaving your Busch Light cans in the fire ring. No, that's not where it goes. And nobody needs a half carton of Pall Malls in there as well. Do your part. Keep things clean because you never know when you're going to be on the end of a stinky sieve.
That's right.
Next.
Now, don't leave your bright Christmas lights on all night long.
Oh my God, this is so true. And I don't know where this trend started, but outside lighting has become so bad in some places that we're starting to see it pop up in the rule. When you check in, you log into your site, they're telling you, hey, don't bring them here because we don't want them, because people have gone insane. We've covered this before about in other videos about projectors being another thing, but seriously, all those bright lights, all of them, every single one of them, leave them at home for crying out loud.
And it's not just the underglow stuff. Y'all have like the palm trees that have lights. You have
Eric, she's talking to you, buddy.
Your solar lights at night. I mean, come on.
At a certain point, you are not an airport, you are at an RV park. Enjoy nature. That's what you're out there for. You're not out there for all these gadgets and gizmos. Disconnect once in a while. It's okay. I promise you're not going to go into a state of shock.
Now, honey.
Yes.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Absolutely. Look, as much fun as we're having today in these conversations that were just, I mean, it was one laugh fest after another, but it really, at the end of the day, don't sweat the small stuff. There's things that's going to go wrong. There's things that's going to happen. There's going to be people that are going to move in next to you that are just, well, they're less than desirable. But, you know, you are here to have fun, and that's what this should be. We try to, you know, our thing with our videos is all about dispelling all the crap and the drama that's all over YouTube, where it's the highs and the lows, and really, it's just get outside and have fun. Life is too short to be worrying about stinky sieve and cigars and the light shows and whatever. If it bothers you, it bothers you. But at the end of the day, really, it's just small stuff. It's going to be okay. And if you see us around, stop on over, bring a beer. Maybe she'll have one with you. You got anything else on that list?
You took it from me.
Ah, that's what I do.
Have fun.
Have fun,
Have
absolutely.
fun.
If you have anything else that you think is a do or a don't and you want to leave it in the comment section, Karri and I welcome you with open arms, because we are those YouTubers that respond to every email, every comment, everything, good or bad. But we welcome you to join our community and our Redesigners Club, and we are appreciative of everybody that stops by and lends a little bit of advice to the growing community. Until next time, I am Bob.
I'm Karri.
And this has been Life Redesigned.